Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, man? You up and at 'em early?
Not much. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah, right. You're
You're
a wrestling junkie, so this is like kind of like your Super Bowl today, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Well, next weekend is the Super Bowl, but this is
This is like conference championship weekend.
Yeah, it's big.
So, Egg Harbor Township boys, you got a couple through there to the semis. You guys must be pretty excited, right?
Yeah, man. These guys have worked very hard, man. They put a lot of time in during the summer, man, working out with me at my club. We've been put a lot of time in and just continue to push and achieve greatness, man. That's what it's about at this point. Guys got goals. They want to achieve them, and the only way to do so is hard work, man.
Now, one guy, I've been following his career pretty much from the start, and we're going to have to talk to you about him because he doesn't say more than 2 or 3 words about himself. That's Terrell Coleman.
Yeah, man. He's a man of not many words, but yeah, this is one of my cousins. He's a tough kid, man. He is. He works hard. He's always going after it. He's striving to get better. It's what it's about. You know what I mean? Getting to what you want to getting to where you want to be.
How impressed were you with his performance last night? I mean, he was sick all day, sick for 3-4 days coming into this tournament, and goes out there and gets the win. He looked like he was about to pass out there in the second period.
Yeah, we went out there, just to check on him. I think he just needed to get himself together. He's been, under the weather, but he's tough as nails, man, and that's all it is about right there. This time of year, just get the W. Don't overexert yourself. Do what you got to do to win. Move on to the next round, and get your ticket punched to AC so you can get a shot at the state title, man.
Now, if he does make it through to the finals, and if the seeding kind of plays out the way we think it will, he's going to have a real tough matchup with the Echeverria kid from Delsea, man. That's going to be a heck of a match.
Yeah, well, it's probably one of the more marquee matchups of the weekend, but I think he'll do all right. As long as he feels fine, Echeverria's tough too. He's been in this situation before. Of course, he had a awesome match last year in the finals. He wrestled his tail off.
Yep.
And he doesn't get no better than that, man. Why wouldn't you want to compete against it?
Another potential finals matchup, if it plays out, would be one of you guys, Connor Augustino and Chad Watt from Woodstown. He looks pretty much unstoppable this year. He's undefeated. Had a great match last night, and I believe that was the final last year. Correct?
Yeah, I believe so, man. Connor's tough too, man. He's had a pretty up and down season, but he's tough. He knows what he has to do. He's been wrestling, his whole life. He has what it takes. It's just a matter of you getting your mindset and going out there and just doing it.
One guy who really impressed me, Coach, is Matt Moreno. Not exactly a year-round wrestler. He's also a goalie with the soccer team, so he's got some other things he likes to do throughout the year, and he's made it all the way to regions and took a tough loss last night, but he's still got a chance to wrestle back today, and if he does well, maybe he could punch his ticket. But talk about this kid a little bit. Really a great kid, a quiet kid. He just goes out there, and one of those kids you love to coach because he's going to show up every day and do his job, right?
Yeah, man, he's gotten so much better, man. He's progressed as the years went on. He's tough. He's tough. A lot of these kids in this program are tough, man. He works out with the other kid, Mark Woods, that's wrestling too for trying to punch a ticket to Atlantic City. Doesn't have as much experience as everyone else, but he's a hard worker. Christian Smith's a hard worker. Hunter Thomas is a hard worker. All these guys, they put the work in. Like I said, at my club, it's Work Yourself, and we strive for greatness, man. It's a pleasure to be an alumni of Egg Harbor Township, and done what I've done at that school, and be able to give back and have these guys have the same success that I did. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
We're talking with Egg Harbor Township assistant wrestling coach Jimmy Garret. Now, Jimmy, you were a wrestler for Coach Kayaza. Tell us about your experience with him as a wrestler compared to now working with him.
Well, to be honest with you, it's really no different. He's still Kayaza, man. He puts a smile on my face, man. I've enjoyed this ride with him, man. I have, I've always, I guess it's kind of been a dream of mine just to work beside him. He's the man. He loves these kids like I do. He has the same passion as I do. So, at the end of the day, we just want to see kids succeed, whether that be from, Egg Harbor Township or Essigami or wherever it is. We just, want to see South Jersey come back to that dominance that it once had.
Now, Jimmy, I got a little bit of a funny story for you. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Joe Monteleone, last night, and he used to coach wrestling back in the day, probably late 80s, early 90s. He was about 7 years into his career as a head coach, and he was talking with Kaza around that time. I guess it was around 95 or so. And Joe was saying how he wanted to get out of the coaching. He was having some kids and that kind of thing, and moving on to a different stage of his life. And Kaza was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about getting out myself." So that was about 25 years ago.
Yeah, man, he can't get enough of it. And I can see myself traveling that same path because this sport is just it's something else. It brings the best out of you. I got a son now. He's starting to take his own journey, so it's exciting, man. It's really exciting.
How old's your boy?
He's 8 years old.
Oh, all right. So he's in the Pee-wee wrestling?
Yeah, he's just getting started. But he works. He comes and pushes with all those other guys at the club, and that's what it's about at this point. You got to build from something, and these Egg Harbor Township guys have definitely put the work in, and they deserve everything that they have coming to them.
Now, how did you make out in your high school career?
I got over 100 wins. I might have been the first one. Egg Harbor Township to get 100 wins. I think I was the first Region 8 champion. I wound up placing fourth in state my senior year. Only behind. I lost to Molinaro in the semis, 11-9. Russell Burroughs for my first region title. I lost to him my second region title. These guys went on to do great things, man.
Sure, yeah.
It's a pleasure to be, mentioning the same names as these guys in South Jersey, especially with what they're doing now.
Now, when you're coaching up these EHT guys, do they understand the kind of career you had, and do you let them know a little bit?
Yeah,
like, hey, listen to me, man. I made it to States.
Yeah, they know the history, and I think it's important, especially for kids like that, to have a blueprint. Just a good roadmap to follow. That somebody that they know have done it before and have been there, and is not going to steer them in the wrong direction. It's going to put them in the situations that they need to be to win. And those guys trust me, and I'm glad that they put their trust in me because I'm out there with them, man. I'm out there with them. I wish I had my shoes sometimes. I always have my shoes in the truck. A singlet I never have.
We're talking with assistant EHT wrestling coach Jimmy Garret. Jimmy, some great families over there at Egg Harbor Township, particularly the Colemans, man. You know when it's an EHT match because there's about 15 Colemans running around, all them little guys, and it's really neat to see. It's kind of a family affair with that, with your family and the Colemans and everybody else over there.
Yeah, man, it's been enjoyable, man. It really has. I can remember, Terrell running around the tournaments when I was little, when I was wrestling in high school when he was little. It's just amazing to see, the athlete that he's, turned into. And like I said, we have a whole nother generation coming up now, so this isn't going to end. We're not going anywhere, that's for sure. But they're a great family, man. We all stick together. They all wrestle for me at my club, and we just continue pushing, man. That's all it's about, being great. That's it.
Jimmy, what do you remember most about the region finals? I mean, this is really one of the highlights of the career of a high school wrestler. If you can get to that final match and, the lights go down low, the spotlight comes on you, they announce your name. I mean, it's got to be such a thrilling moment in the career of a high school wrestler.
Yeah, man. I can honestly say that I was pretty blessed when it came to the lights. The lights didn't bother me too much. I wound up winning districts 3 times. When I got to regions, it was by the second time it was like, all right, this is where it needs. This is what I got to do. I got to go out there and handle business. Just one match at a time. I knew it was I was going to probably be Egg Harbor Township's first region champ. So it was just a matter of me just going out there, wrestling smart, getting the job done, not overexerting myself, just securing the win. That's about it. But it was a tremendous experience. You know what I mean? It's still talked about to these days. My semifinal match with Honor Aurora from Delsey is still talked about to this day. So it's a great feeling to be still honored. Like I said in South Jersey, man, people still talking about me. Here we are, 10 years later.
Now, Jimmy, this is something I always ask every wrestler. What's the quickest you ever got pinned in?
I think I don't even remember. So those matches you try to forget, man.
You remember? Come on, man.
Going through the years, I've had so many matches. I can't. I can't say I've been too fast in high school, but probably younger or who knows? Maybe in college, maybe once or twice I got caught real quick and looked up like, whoa, what happened? But those things happen. Like I said, you got to learn to bounce back. Losses come, losses are lessons. But you just learn to, bounce back from them and continue to achieve your goal,
Jimmy, real quick before we let you go, give yourself a plug there for your wrestling club if there's anybody out there listening who wants to get their kid involved and learn from one of the best.
Yeah, man, we're out at on 2547 Fire Road, Egg Harbor Township, man. It's Orchard South Wrestling Club. We're growing greatness, man. We're what we're all about. We roll around all year round. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30. The high school kids. I got little kids rolling at 6. You can follow me at the Orchard South Wrestling Club on Facebook and also on Instagram, Orchard_South.
Awesome, man. Good stuff. I'll see you out there later today, bud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, too. Thank you.
That was Jimmy Garret, former Egg Harbor Township star, who's now helping out, coaching that squad. He's going to be over there at the Region 8 tournament.